So today we're going to be building a rear bar for the Zook. Now I've got this bit of steel sitting up here to get a visual of what I've got in my head on what I want to do. Now, as you can see, you can sort of just see the bottom of the chassis rail there. I didn't want the material to hang right down and look silly, where the size of this 150 box section we got up here almost matches our front bar. I think the front bar is about 170, but I didn't want the back to hang down as low as the front. I want it sort of slimline, and if I have to, I could almost probably put an infill or something in the back later. Now, because our wheel almost sits flush with the back of the car here, I want to keep the departure angle as close as I can to the car, and also I don't want too much weight hanging out. Because we've got 35s now, I won't be able to put the wheel on the factory holder here, because it'll be too heavy for it and I'll probably wreck the door. So I've got to keep in mind as well, we're probably going to have some sort of a tyre swing hanging off here somewhere, so we can't go too close that we can't weld something on here for a tyre carrier. And we've also got to keep in mind we need to make sure this is infilled here, because this just looks ugly if we were to leave it open. So I'm thinking is we're going to have a bit of steel coming out, down, and then a 50mm return fold at the bottom. And then on the sides, if you imagine the side is in line with the tyre there, I might just slightly taper up the ends, sort of like the front bar, so it sort of matches the front to the back. I'm not going to put lights or anything in it. I would like a tow hitch in the back, because I do tow with this car, but I think the tow ball is going to be way too high sitting up there, so I might, that's why I wasn't too fussed about seeing this, because I might be able to make a tow hitch that sits under, or even put the factory one back on that I've got. But I didn't like the factory tow hitch because it hangs really low and you always get hung up on it. So, but all right, I'm going to head off to the steel joint and get a bit of metal folded up. The end of the bar isn't going to run out with the tyre. I'm actually going to follow the curve of the body line, and then our flare will wrap right round. So it sort of looks, if you look at it from the side, the flare will wrap right round the wheel arch. The factory rear bar sort of looks like that, and the flare runs round. So, and I've left enough material on the top so we can cut it round the body here and it sit right in. So it's going to come in another 50mm from where it's sitting now, which if you look at it on the side should come, it'll be about here somewhere. So we're only going to have probably about 70mm showing from the back, and then we'll put a nice fill-in piece that comes in here. It kind of sucks because on these Suzukis you've got this section here, so I'm going to have to put in a little bit of plate here. But the material I went with, just a cold roll flat sheet of steel, 3mm thick, so try and keep it as light as we can get it. I'm not sure how I'm going to mount it yet, because we're sort of limited by options, because we've lifted the body now. These brackets that we're going to have to make are going to be on the angle, and it's got to be able to be removable. So I've got the bar sitting back on the car, and that's about as far out as it's going to stick. So in the middle, it's about 50mm. So I got that mount all tacked on. I went ahead and did the other side. It's just a bit of 3mm material here with 12mm, with three 12mm bolts tapped into a 4mm plate that I bent up earlier. So that's sort of the look we're going for. I might slightly just round that edge. We've got to put an infill piece in here, which won't look too bad. But sort of the idea was our flare to wrap round like so, and then our mud flap to sort of come from this point here down. So to hold our mud flap, I'm just sinking a bit of angle iron, and it's gonna have to sort of hang down on that angle, kind of like that, because if I had the mud flap this bracket straight, it won't look as if the sort of wheel arch is going around. So and if I just use a bit of flat bar, no doubt if the wheel fills up with mud or something, it needs to be able to hit whatever we put in here, like this angle iron, and not fold up and bend and do whatever. So I'm thinking a bit of angle iron will suit that purpose. How mint did the bar come up? Our body lines came up really good. I was a bit worried about how this infill bit was going to look, but it managed to come up all right. I think once now that it's painted powder coated black, it all looks like it's meant to be. I did make one massive mistake, and that was I didn't get the belt sander and take out my weld marks on this side. So in the lighting, there you go, you can see it there, and it looks terrible. It's kind of frustrating. I did that something years ago on something I got powder coated, and ever since then I always run a belt sander over it. If you try and grind that, I've found you'll leave divots and it'll look the same regardless of grinding it or not. Where if you use a belt sander, because you've got such a big surface area, it takes off the high spots and it looks quite all right. Yeah, I was pretty bummed about that, but I think once you get a coat of dirt on it and it sort of dulls off the colour a little bit, it'll look a bit better. But now, I didn't put a tyre swing on it. I know I said I was going to, but with weighing this, it weighs 14 kilos. I didn't want to go adding any extra weight. I was really hoping to have it around the 10 kilos, but we've gained a little extra because we put a couple more gussets in the bottom here, and that we kind of needed, and plus plating up here and a couple extra plates in the end here just to stiffen this all up. But I think rounding it up to 15 kilos it's not too bad for a rear bar. I did have these truck mud flaps left over. I just literally cut them in half and turned them inside out because I thought it's got like a phone number and a brand and stuff on it. That would look a little weird on the back of this, especially because we cut them in half. But that's going to do it for this video. It was a nice quick little build of a rear bar that you can sort of do at home. Most steel companies now will fold that material like they did with me. It's super easy. You can sort of muck around with brackets and make it how you look, make it how you want it to look, rather than buying one off the shelf. And the main goal was to keep it nice and tucked up to the car, keep it light, and make it look like it's meant to be for the car. I hate when you see those rear bars or front bull bars, how they just are huge, big and bulky, and they look just ridiculous on the thing. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.